Hello, it is 2026 and I still believe being a gym influencer, or I want to believe being a gym influencer is still an option for me. And this is something that I want to pursue and I'm just giving it my all. Today I'm going to be doing a full body workout, which I do every day. If you continue to watch me, you'll see that, sometimes I switch around, based on trying to be time efficient or new gym equipment that I get, but it kind of follows like around the same fundamentals. Watching Diamond Gym strictly because when I'm watching it and I see the individuals pushing themselves, it actually motivates me, and nothing, no gym content has ever done that to me. So I actually find it very enjoyable to watch. I'm going to start off with some barbell hack squats. And I usually stick between that 1 to 2 sets, depending on like if the form isn't great, I want to get another one in just to make myself feel better. A lot of my workouts are really big on like peak overload and mechanical tension and stuff like that. But there's videos coming out recently talking about the stretch being as effective, while scientific lifters say it's not as important as you may think. So I kind of just, since there's so much debate about it, I kind of just go both ways. I try to be as stable, try to get as much overload as I can, but then I still also do the stretch workouts, especially for chest, just because okay, we may not know. So I'm just gonna, do what I can. And then I forgot to show, but I got Ghost pre-workout. I strictly like it because their sour flavors are pretty good. There's water and then zero sugar soda. Canada Dry is the best. So I usually put a plate or, like a 25 or, like a 45, and I elevate my heels so I could go deeper on the quad stretch. Preferably, I want to keep bringing my knees forward and then try to break that form as low as I can, and then switch into the regular squat. But as it gets heavier and heavier, it's kind of hard to be that strict. So sometimes I break form earlier, so you'll see. But I'm really just trying to push myself with heavier weight. So like I said, overload. But let's go. And so, like I said, I usually try to stick to one set, but if I feel like my form's not all there, in the case of like me just trying to overload, I'll do 2 sets just to make myself feel better. So I'm going to do a barbell hack squat and then do a T-bar sissy squat. And I specifically do the T-bar because the angle's super good as well. Just working out, I know I'm yapping, but working out at home, you kind of have to be innovative on like angles and like just using things to your advantage, brainstorming. I don't even have a T-bar, landmine thingy, but I just put like a 50 at the corner, 50-pound dumbbell at the corner of the barbell. Kind of works the same. So my lats, my chest, and my legs have always been weak points. But after I started doing this, I've actually finally seen some growth. I don't really go for my max squat, but it's around like 375, 385. And this was like my first year lifting a long time ago. But personally, in terms of bodybuilding, I don't like squats because, one, I really have messed up shoulders. Not crazy, but like just getting in that position. And then obviously, I know I'm being like a B word about it, but the barbell on your back, it's just, in terms of safety and stability, there's so many better options for bodybuilding specifically. But I prefer the hack squat, so I don't have to do this. And there's a lot of tension on my quads. I love it, especially when I'm able to go deep. So before I'm able to do the sissy squat, gotta put this up so it doesn't get in the way. I know I don't have the prettiest setup, but I'm working out at home. I try not to be loud because I do have neighbors like literally right at this wall right here. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. Try not to upset my other neighbors, my landlord, living in a very close community. I'm actually talking a little bit louder than I usually would, just because I feel like I need to project more when I make videos. But again, elevating the heel for a deeper stretch. And so basically it's the same angle as a hack squat, but just because it's more stable, I'm able to get that stretch position, longer. And I have to put down the weight a lot more, and it really emphasizes the quads, and it's just a lot better movement, a lot stricter movement. So, because it's lighter, I'm gonna try to get more reps. No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then back to it. Back to the hack squat. So it's 9:30 right now. I started a little bit, like 9:25. I try to keep my workouts between an hour and a half. That's really all you need. Just sometimes I, overdo it, trying a new workout routine, which I adjust almost daily, which isn't efficient at all. But, at least I'm at the same structure. Like I said, trying to be mindful, not trying to be loud for too long. But being mostly free weights, I just bought a cable, not a cable machine, just a single pulley that you'll see at the end of the workout. I'm excited to incorporate that into my routine. But since mainly being free weights, especially with the plates, unloading, loading, moving around, the safeties, it takes time. So that's one downfall for a home gym, I will say. Oh my gosh. Not trying to take too long. Either 3 or 4 more. I feel like that's a good number. I don't know if you can see, but my grip was breaking too. Going for another 8. Getting his position kind of difficult because, butt's in the way, so I have to tuck. Usually I'm actually further up, more further forward. Gonna go straight into a shoulder press. Usually I don't do shoulder presses because obviously, lateral raise biases the shoulder more with less weight. But when I started rock climbing, I noticed, my shoulder mobility was terrible. My rotator cuffs were super weak. So I got injured a lot. So me having to, especially with the T-bar, I'm able to go into a position like this. So it adds some stability in, a vulnerable position. It just makes me stronger in that area. Hopefully this is a good angle. I think it is. Pick this up. In just one set. And just so you guys see, I'm about to do calf raises. And I actually used to set the bar right here on my shoulder, obviously closer in, but it used to be hard to take down the weight. Now I only do it for shoulder press. But I switched to doing this kind of RDL position calf raises. And, you probably already know, but, as you're stretching the hamstring, for a hip hinge, you get a stretch on the calves as well. Same thing, vice versa. And, I'm doing T-bar calf raises and I feel the stretch more when I'm leaning forward, small tension or lighter tension in my hamstrings because my calves are obviously much weaker. So my form may look a little bit weird, but I'm doing it all for the stretch. That sound right there is much louder than comfort, but what can I do? So oh shoot, dang man. I'm just not trying to get in trouble. Can't really lower it. Let me see. But I think it'll be a good position. Yeah. I think you guys get the gist. So, like I said, I like doing one set. So these, I feel like I could get a good solid one set out of it. And then I'll go straight to T-bar RDLs. Really like the T-bar. I never used it or I didn't really use it at commercial gyms, obviously because machines are more stable. But since I have to be innovative, T-bar has been coming clutch. Even I don't even have the attachment. I just put the dumbbell on it, but it really helps out with a lot of exercises. And then also point my feet inward because it stretches the glute out more. Then leaning forward. And once I started doing that, I've had to lower the weight, and I don't try to stand on my tippy toes. Try to balance on the middle of my sole. Just put more weight on it. I really feel that stretch. Then, like I said, just go straight into RDLs. My form has been terrible at these for a while, so excuse me, but I really try my best to maintain it. The range of motion is very small for this movement, so you won't see me going that deep, or you'll see my shoulders coming forward very early. Same thing, toes inward, and bend my knees to lift it. Then I try to imagine closing a car door with my butt. So the thing with full body is you really got to try to, not go practice, not going 1,000% or 100% every workout, because if you're going to do full body again the next day, you're not going to be able to, you're going to be weaker, obviously your body adapts and stuff like that, but you got to basically master the point where you can hit, heavy weight more frequently, because if you're doing full body and you thrash your body one day and then you're out for the next 2 days, kind of defeats the purpose. You got to be very skillful in pushing yourself, but not too far. If I really push myself, I could do more reps and I could do a little bit more weight, but not that I'm holding myself back, but I don't need to get too much fatigue. And I'm not part of that crowd where, like they make fun of fatigue maxing and stuff like that. But there's truth behind, those hate comments that say like, you're fatigue maxing and stuff like that. Like, it really makes sense. So listen to both sides. There's people that say you're not training hard enough. There's people that say you have too much redundancy, but then they're not training too hard enough. You just have to kind of pick your battle, or just see the goods of both sides. That's why I focus on mechanical tension and, trying to reach that peak overload. But I still feel like I can't just throw away saying the stretch is important. For a second I did, but since my chest is still so small, I think I'm still getting newbie gains with the guillotine press. So I'm like, what? If it's working, might as well. So with the T-bar, some days I could go 4, some days I could go 5. I've been feeling very weak lately. Like I said, pushing, like blah, 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 blah. So I'm just gonna do 4. one good set, and then move over. 9:55, I'm on great timing, way better than I usually do. Obviously, my lower back is vulnerable, so I'm gonna try to, lean back and bend my knees as much as possible. Nothing wrong with training your lower back, but just, don't overdo it, especially when your vertebrae are stretched like this. That's how there's a lot of misconceptions about injury. But, I want to get T-bar Rosen. And I have to be very careful about dropping the weight, because this area I have 2 layers of mat. This area I got 3 layers of mat, but I'm renting. This isn't my place, so I don't want to damage the landlord's tiles. I don't know how curved my back is. We'll see if it's much worse than I thought. But now I'm gonna move over. So I'm gonna do some cheat curls. My curl weight is 35s, but just to be honest with you, I'm too lazy to take the plates off, then put it back on, and then, add some extra weight on that. So I feel like I'm just gonna do some cheat curls and call it a day, unless I only get like 2 reps in. I don't know how I say that now, but. And then when you see me do the guillotine, so I specifically do guillotine, and I do it at a decline because it's a stretch, right? But the thing is with the guillotine, yes, I'm getting good stretch, but at the top half of that movement, literally getting almost no chest work. It's just the joints locking out, whatever, There's a lot of people that know a lot more than me. So when I do it, I specifically only stay in that bottom half range. And, sometimes I either just hold it in that stretch, because if the stretch is important, I could just hold it in that position, and I could do like a plate 25, 35 on each side. Or if I want to get some reps in, I'll just do a plate, maybe some change. Just get like 6 reps in, in that position, and then just move on. I do more stretch based chest exercises. Like I said, because my chest is very weak, make sure I'm getting whatever I can. But let's just do this. Let's do these cheat curls. So my home gym, very small. I know I keep yapping. I don't know if it's just because the camera's here, but it's literally from here to this wall. Literally only a spot for a rack. Some dumbbells laying around. Like, they pile a lot very easily. I actually had to clean up a little bit for this video. But this is my first video. Hopefully you guys get to see my progression. When I get a house, a home gym, etc. Work from there. Super weak. I think I might just have to take the L and put some 25s on the sides. But let me just cheat and get 1 rep. Super sloppy form. Yeah, I said I was too lazy, but my fault for being weak. Oh my gosh, dude. just can't stop being loud. It's literally 10 p.m. Really just not trying to get in trouble. Not trying to cause a disturbance. Gosh. I could have pushed myself more, but my biceps feel super weak, probably because of the videos I've been doing. Not trying to be a B word, but just not trying to overdo it. So I got to bring the bench in. Literally have it to the side, and I don't have I can't adjust it. So I just put a big dumbbell underneath. It's stable enough, surprisingly. So I'm literally gonna do the smallest range of motion. I even set the bar even lower than the standard bench press, just so it's easier for me to re-rack. Wide grip. Then I'm pulling my chin up. I'm really stretching it. And so these are, you know, when you bring the barbell to your neck, it's called Duranda press, Duranda bench press. That's his style of workout. And yes, you could get a lot of stretch with the dumbbells, especially how like Eric Janicki does it. You know, when he stretches it like backward like that, which I am going to do. But I specifically do guillotine just because of the stretch position overload. Because yes, you know, like I said, I could do this, but I can max out 20, 30s, maybe 40 if I'm really like have to try to be careful. But even with the 40s, it's nowhere near as overload as this. So I'm actually gonna move the bench forward. And yes, the bench was crooked. I felt it, but just so I have more space to move around. So I'm gonna do some regular flies. And since I'm doing so many fly type fly movements, I'm really gonna keep the reps super short, like even 3. You know, I'm doing a lot of stretching movement anyways. Then let's just do some 20s. So basically just another chest fly, but larger range of motion. Then try to swoop it in. Try not to be redundant, moving this back and forth. seems like I have to, and do some JM presses. So I used to do JM press with the bar right here, but it feels kind of dangerous racking the bar so low like that. So I'm gonna put it at standard height. And then I have masking tape marked along my rack for the different spots that I put it. And then I used to do a underhand bench press as well, you know, to target medial and lateral head. But I bought this dip belt, and I have my parallettes or my dip bars, and I could just do that. But I won't be doing that today. And I have a love-hate relationship with the JM press because you get crazy stretch, crazy overload. But when I was doing it, I actually injured both my elbows. And it wasn't until I started, you know, really doing some rehabilitation, you know, exercises and taking collagen. It took a long time to finally get my elbows feeling good. So I try not to overdo it with JM press. I've only recently gone back into it without any pain. So I'm happy and grateful for that. You just got to be careful. And I've tried a lot of different, you know, like machine, JM press style, stretch position, tricep exercises, you know, even on the upper pec chest press. I even leaned forward and did a tricep extension on it. And, you know, obviously it's a weird position and it doesn't feel as good. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with gravity with the JM press. And that's a part of the reason why I love it, because you have it right over you and you literally have gravity fighting against your triceps. And, you know, I can only do 35s on it right now without feeling any pain. So I feel like the progression with this is insane. Just if you have to use wraps on it, then I feel like you're going too heavy though. You know, there's obviously exceptions, but if you're not crazy strong and you're using tricep and you're using straps just to make you feel, just to go heavier for no reason, it's unnecessary. And then I actually go suicide grip so I could just turn my triceps more, and close grip. And I'm really lifting my elbows up and bringing that bar to my throat. Oh, I feel super weak. Wow. I'm going to leave it at that. You know, I could drop set, but it's a good weight for me. I'm going to leave it at that. Now I'm just going to have to readjust it. Now I'm going to do some Keenan flaps. I don't know if he has different name for the forward and the side one, but I call the forward one like pull downs. This is my first time using my gym cable for it. So we'll see how that setup goes. Bring this back. So I got this on TikTok Shop. I did make affiliate videos on it, but I mainly got it because I wanted to be able to do lat pull downs and tricep push downs, and you'll see it right now, some Keenan flaps at home, because those were the main things that I was missing out on at the home gym. So, oh shoot. So I'm actually just super happy that, you know, I got it. My iPhone actually ran out of storage earlier while I was filming. Might have to get iCloud just because I have so many videos I need to edit. So before I actually bought this cable, bought these resistance bands, and also on TikTok, also affiliate on, but these worked super well. I would tie it around my rack, and I'll do some like chest flies with it, upper chest, all that. Lat pull, lat rows. So these are amazing. If you don't want to spend like 40, 60 bucks on a cable, you can spend like less than $10 on some resistance bands, and you unlock a lot as well. But obviously progression and a little bit more workout. So obviously like a lat pull down. You can do the same, make a mimic a lat pull down with a resistance band, you know, use a dowel, a stick that I have. I actually use this for mobility, you know, workouts, but I used to make a lat pull down with that too. But there I go again, rambling. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna start with 25, just because I don't know how strong I am. I haven't been, oh shoot. Haven't been to an actual gym in a while. So this squat rack I have is actually like 4 years old, 5 years old. And I was going to the gym, but you know, I wanted to save money. I'm not in the position right now to spend a lot on memberships. And the squat rack was actually at my mom's house, but because of unfortunate events, I eventually had to take this back. You're okay. But, you know, it might be a blessing in disguise because now I get to shoot these videos at home. You know, I wouldn't be talking like this if I was at actual gym. So we'll see. Yes, babe, almost done. So like I said, lats were a weak point of mine for a while. It wasn't until recently as well that I started to train lats better, and chest and legs. So sometimes you may see my form not be the best, but I'm trying. I really do love the lat rows on the cable. And so when I didn't have this cable, I literally just got it like yesterday, and I started shooting affiliate videos on it. But when I didn't have the cable and I was using resistance bands because it's not heavy and I can't really overload or progress on it, I was just doing a bunch of different angles, you know, boom, 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 bunch of different lat angles. So now I'm just going to try to mitigate it to like a select few, the best, or maybe switch around a couple times. Yeah, that feels good. I don't even need to put straps. Very ugly angle. It's getting pretty late, so my girlfriend's asking me if I could finish up. Makes sense, you know. It's already 10:30, so it's been over an hour. I think my pacing has been pretty good. I was supposed to do dumbbell ladder raise, but my shoulder's been pretty dead recently. Now I was gonna hit cable fly with this, but just because I don't have the angle figured out yet, it might take a while for me to get it the way I like. So I'm just gonna finish up with some tricep push downs and call it wraps, just so I could edit this video, or I could shower, edit the video, and try to push it out, you know? Wow. I try not to be loud, but oh my gosh. Especially since like it's such a small space. Like, so usually I use the straight bar because I could obviously go heavier, but let's see. Let's try to get that twist in. Yeah, this is doing nothing, so let's just put a little work in for the last set, just because we're calling it early. So usually I could go pretty heavy on the the cables at the gym. But even just a plate, like free weights, way different. You know, I can only do a plate, or maybe a plate in a dime or a quarter. I mean, but wow. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. I just want to finish on a good note. That's all I want. Oh, big inconvenience. There you go. So I'm very tricep dominant, and I feel like I could actually go heavier and do more, but let's just call it reps. I know I did long head bias already, but you know, I just want to be able to use my new cable. Right now I'm recovering from a girlfriend bulk, so I can only really flex the arms right now, but we'll use this as progress. My arms look bigger and more vascular than they actually are. Okay, thanks for watching. I know it wasn't crazy high quality or edited, but appreciate the views if you stuck around this long. I'm just trying to figure out what works. You know, I know a lot of challenges and like Mr. Beast type format, like construction workers versus firefighters type videos. I know they're kind of the top, so I've been kind of brainstorming on how I can mimic that myself, you know, with the lower budget and stuff like that. But right now I just had a regular workout in, so I was like, let's see how it goes. Thanks for watching.